The fools haven't caught on yet that I have no intention of communicating directly with them. They think I'm afraid of them, which is nonsense. I'm just tired of wasting my time, energy, talking to insane people. Plain and simple. Someone reached out to me at Kiwi Farms the other day, and I told him to ask me in private. He wanted to know. He said, you invited me to contact you privately about the 15-year-old story. That's a 40-year-old story. Yes. Thanks for the offer. Apologies for not getting to this sooner. The site's been down for a couple of days. I'll put a few things out front. I won't share it since you said you don't want to discuss it in public. I'm sure the word of a troll doesn't mean much, but there it is. I'm not personally invested in any of this drama. I come here primarily for entertainment. I do not wish any real harm on you. Ultimately, you're just a weird person to me. So what's the real story there anyway? I saw where you said you were in bed doing sex acts with the chick and the other woman got jealous. But I believe you also said you exaggerated the extent of the contact. I can believe it either way. Sometimes people stretch the truth online, but I could also see why someone would assume that's just a cover-up. And my response, thanks for asking. You can share this privately all you like. I'm thinking I'm going to post our conversation if you don't mind. It was just one of those weird little scenes in the gold mine in 1982. 3 indie artists under 30 and one was just under 16. There were no serious drugs on the scene, as the liars like to tell it, just weed and some psychedelics. Sabrina had been making her own decisions about who she was going to sleep with since she was 9. And to my knowledge, no man ever took advantage of her. She was so talented that everybody protected her. She had been living with a punk rocker for a year and moved in with me and the woman I was staying with instead of going home to her absentee college professor parents. I walked in and they were in bed, rolled apart, invited me in, and the older woman broke it up within minutes because she wasn't getting enough attention. I made the very foolish mistake of writing it as a sort of exercise in writing erotic fiction and called it a true story at the now defunct The Ranter, a site that makes this toilet look like a tea club for little old ladies. Over the years, it's been distorted beyond all recognition with fact. One drainboat posted at Facebook that I'd poured whiskey down her throat and fucked her silly. The liars called it gang rape. Same with the dog. Lady was an amazing perimeter sentry who liked to masturbate herself on people's palms and legs. Nobody ever fucked her with their dicks or fingers. They just gave her something to jerk off on. The story about me hounding a YouTuber to suicide is utter bullshit. The woman was batshit crazy. She did a slideshow for me that I didn't like at all. There were a couple of fuck off videos exchanged, and then I forgot about her until I heard she'd killed herself. I forgot about her again until I found out I was being blamed for her killing herself. Thanks for getting back to me. Listen carefully to this one, boys. I'm telling you, people have your number. That's the thing about the internet. Every stupid thing you've ever said online can come back years later if it can be traced at all to any account you're currently on. And you're unlikely to get the benefit of the doubt about that stuff from strangers. Whenever I think about you, it seems like the cast of characters that have attached themselves are insane. Even the one I'm on good terms with. You occupy a strange piece of the internet. I'd kind of like to know. I'm kind of curious the one he's in good terms with. Personally, I don't know. I don't think you're a threat to society or dogs, at least not based on what is known. You're a rather eccentric person with outspoken opinions that go against the norm and have kept the same online identity for decades. So anybody that has a problem with you can rediscover whatever trouble you've been into in the past. I won't claim to understand you, but I think people take this a little too seriously, especially when there are actual pedophiles and zoophiles committing full-on rape and bragging about it online. I'm sure you were exposed to the zoosadist stuff a couple of years back. Actually, I wasn't until I was discovered by the farms. I'm an old hippie and I don't understand myself. But I refuse to deny my instincts, so I've always been way too fearful for most people. Could only stand myself in small doses. We were online before the internet went public. My first partners were top-tier IT engineers working on major installations like BOA and JPL from an x86 DOS machine with a 9600 baud modem. I was mostly off-grid in the 80s and 90s and have been barely connected since. Part of the indie music and arts activism community, totally outside the variety/MTV entertainment world. I'd avoided the whole pride thing until I came out in 2010 and still don't relate well to the extreme sexuality. My sex was seriously fucked up when they cut on me when I was little. I have a lot of metabolic dysfunctions that have always plagued me. For instance, that COPD is actually chronic upper respiratory congestion and postnasal drip from smoke, dust, and pollen allergies. The chip outs the assholes love are based in fucked up adrenaline metabolism. Epinephrine builds up. The HRT helps a lot. I have to allow you to get Tom out like that. And I'm not going to allow it anymore. The cast of characters most certainly is insane, and I'm changing my ROE completely. They get nothing in text or reactions anymore. Let them howl at the wind. I'm not sure whether I'll post here or not. There is some potential in people like yourself, and I appreciate you reaching out. And that's where it's at. Fuck you idiots at another message board, and fuck all the idiots at Kiwi Farms too. I'm not paying any attention to any of them. I hardly read any of the stuff before. They think I read every word, angst over it, rip my hair out, what little I have, and just hammer on the keyboard. I don't. I get away from this keyboard just as much as I can every day. And I really spend very little time on these people's sites. There's nothing here for me. Here, here's some chat. Here's the Kiwi Farms chat. So I'm talking about getting a shot. None of it makes sense. Doesn't make sense. None of it. But anyway, that's the way it's going to be. It's like, I got better things to do with my time than waste it on you idiots. Namaste, motherfuckers. Thanks for watching. Happy day. Bye.